We're going to be doing some of the Indra Devi Yoga for Americans activities. And since we're starting with day one, we're going to start with week one. So, according to her book, lesson 1, the first week, what the course is and how to use it. As the title of the book implies, the course of exercises outlined here for home practice is designed to teach the rudiments of yoga so that they can be incorporated into the daily routine of the average man or woman living in our Western world. I have taken into account not only the pace to which life in the United States is geared, but also the fact that most of you have not had a chance to keep your muscles limber and your joints supple. At first glance, as you look through the illustrations in the book, some of the yoga poses may seem impossibly difficult to you. You may feel you cannot even attempt them, but please do not be frightened away. If you follow instructions with a little patience and method, you will be able to learn a great deal more than you think possible in less time than you imagine. So, the first page is our waking up routine. We shall begin our first lesson with a routine you should adopt the moment you have opened your eyes in the morning and are ready to get up. First of all, learn to wake up properly. Do some stretching. Stretch your arms, yawn several times, stretch your legs, stretch your whole body. While you are still in bed, do the following stretching exercise. A little behind on that, but it's okay. Keeping your feet together, toe to toe. Start to push out the right leg without raising it off the mattress, as if wanting to lengthen it. The pull will be felt from the hip down, and the leg will be momentarily lengthened by an inch or two. Hold your leg in this position while you count to 60, then relax, allowing the right foot to become even again with the left one. Then repeat. Okay, so since we forgot to do this morning, let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna follow the directions. We're going to lay down like we are in bed. Okay, adjust a little bit here. We're gonna put our legs straight out, toe to toe. And then for 60 seconds, we're going to strengthen and lengthen the right leg, keeping it flat on the mat or the bed. Now make sure you keep breathing. After about 60 seconds, relax. And we're going to do the same thing on the left. Just strengthen and lengthen. Make sure you keep breathing. Bring it back. Now while you're here, you can also stretch your arms overhead. Stretch your body out a little bit and get that blood flowing. Okay, so let's see what our next exercise is. Now that we've stretched. All right. So the first exercise is deep breathing. Yoga emphasizes our relationship to the universe and therefore teaches a breathing different from the usual breathing. A breathing that reflects our inner attitude while we are performing it. This attitude is one of devotion towards the communion of the all and should be maintained all the time one is doing deep breathing. So specifically, Indra Devi states that we should be doing a conscious breathing exercise. So, she talks about the anatomy of breathing, learning to breathe correctly, and then trying to get to the part where she talks about which kind of pranayama we're doing. All right. Goodness, it's quite a few pages about breathing. Okay. Now, as you sit down on your exercise mat, get ready for your first real lesson in deep breathing. If for some reason you are unable to sit on the floor, you may sit on a chair or else stand up. Deep breathing can also be done lying down, provided the spine is kept straight. But normally we should do it while sitting cross-legged. So if we are in this position or this position, this is called the lotus. So if you cannot assume the lotus position as yet, cross your legs in any way easiest for you. Actually, I recant that. Lotus is when you have both of your feet on top of each other, but I cannot do that for two reasons. One, plus size person, so you have to adapt to what your body can do. And number two is my hips and my knees. I have some health concerns, so we can't do everything the way we're supposed to. I'm noticing that beautiful little glare, so ignore. All right, so first check your posture. Your spine should be straight, your head erect, your hands on knees, and your eyes closed. So if I was going to do this, we're gonna straighten the spine, we're gonna lift the head, and imagine there's like a string pulling you up. You're gonna put your hands on your knees and you're gonna close your eyes. Beautiful. See, it's not hard to breathe properly. Here we go. We got rid of the glare. All right, now concentrate on the pharyngeal space at the back wall of your mouth and slightly contracting the muscles. Begin to draw in air through that space as if you were a suction pump. Interesting words and choices. All right, the beginner should not try to take too full a breath at once. Start by breathing to the count of 4. Hold the breath counting to 2 and start slowly exhaling to the count of 4. So we're doing a varied version of what's called box breath. So again, if we're doing box breathing, we're lengthening the spine, pulling the head up tight, hands on knees. We're gonna go in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. So we go hold, release, hold. Nice and simple. All right. Deep breathing is often quite a revelation to people who do it for the first time. Incidentally, it happens that some people have come to take pictures and interviews, have tried this exercise, and have just discovered my lungs. All right. If you want to see how the ribs expand during inhalation and contract during exhalation, watch yourself in a mirror. The chest should then remain uncovered, of course, at least to the waistline. Now, the next exercise that we're going to be doing is an exercise for the neck and for the eyes. This will help do away with eye strain, tension, and stiffness of the neck. I am not gonna lie, I have had a migraine for the last 3 days because of the tension in my neck, so I'm loving this. You can do these whenever you please, at the beginning of a lesson, at the end of one, or at any other convenient time. A lot of people will practice these exercises while taking a bath, listening to the radio, or at intervals while at work, whether typing or to sync. Before starting the exercise, see for yourself how flexible your neck is. Then decide whether or not it needs to be exercised. And here's how we're going to discover how flexible our neck is. First, drop your head forward. Then rotate it several times. If the rolling goes smoothly without any grinding or crackling noises, you have nothing to worry about. If it doesn't, better try the next exercises at once. So I know that my neck is gonna pop, lock, and crack, but we're gonna do this anyway. Are you ready? Okay, so we're going to put our neck down. We're going to drop our neck and we're gonna roll. Ooh. And I'm hearing some massive grinding, a lot of tightness. We're gonna try the other side. There's a lot of like pop. My neck sounds like Rice Krispies when you put water on them or milk on them. You know, the so drop the neck, roll around. Okay, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I need the neck exercises. All right, so we're gonna do the neck exercises. All right, usually the trouble begins when the joints, or rather their linings, are inadequately lubricated and begin to stiffen from accumulation of calcium deposits, a sign of old age regardless of how many or how few years ago you were born. Okay, so the technique. Here is how the neck exercises are to be done. Sit on the floor with your legs crossed and keep the hands on the knees. If you prefer to sit on a chair, choose a hard one. Otherwise, you will find it difficult to keep your back straight, which is essential. Relax the whole body. Be conscious of only the neck up. The rest should remain motionless and as unstrained as if you were sitting on water up to the neck. All right, so we're gonna read through this and then we'll do it together. So we are in our seated position. We got our spine straight. Close your eyes and effortlessly and gently let your head drop forward and backward. Then again, forward and backward. Do each exercise 4 times to begin with. Later, you can increase the number to 6 or more. When dropping your head backwards, keep your facial muscles relaxed. The lips should be parted slightly when your head is thrown back. Then, you will turn your head to the extreme right and return it to a normal position. Then the extreme left and back to normal position. Repeat that 4 times. Turning the head to the sides contracts the muscles, returning the normal position, which relaxes them. In the third exercise, you bend your head to the right as if someone were pulling your right ear towards your right shoulder. Straighten the head, then do the same to the left. Repeat that 4 times. When bending the head to the side, do not lift the shoulders and don't tilt the head either. Let it move only from its upright position to an almost horizontal one. Otherwise, there will be very little pull in the neck. The pull should be strongly felt on the opposite side of the neck where the head is bent. And is there only 4 exercises? Okay, there's 5. I don't want to forget. The 4th exercise resembles the neck movements of a turtle, for you should literally stick your neck out as far as you can, then draw it back in. In doing so, you will make a gliding movement forward of your chin, as if trying to reach far out with it and thus lengthen the neck. Here, the pull should be felt in the back of the neck on both sides between the ears as well as the middle. Repeat 4 times. The last exercise, do the same movement that you did to test the elasticity of your neck.
Exercise ring closed.
All right. Drop your head forward and feel it grow lifeless and heavy. Then let it roll clockwise several times. Repeat counterclockwise the same number of times. Do not stiffen the back or shoulders and let the head hang relaxed so it will roll like that of a sleeping baby or someone who has had too many drinks. At the end of the last exercise, pat the neck with the back of both hands, smacking it under the chin and on the sides. To pat the back of the neck, use your palms and fingertips. Okay, so here we go. Let's make sure I remember these in the right order. So number 1 was, okay, we're going up and down, right to left, side right, side left. Okay, so we're gonna straighten our spine. Make sure we're nice and tall. Put your hands on your knees. And if you're ready, we're just gonna drop forward and go backward. That's 1, forward, backward. That's 2, forward, backward. 3, forward, backward. That's 4. Now we're going to twist to the extreme. So we're going to go right as far as you can, center. Left as far as you can, center. That's 1, far right, center, far left. That's 2. Right, center, left, center. 3, right, center, and left, center. That's 4. Now we're going right ear to right shoulder, but we are not lifting our shoulder and we are not turning our head. We're just going 1 and left, 2. That's 1. We're doing right, up, left, 2. Right, up, left, 2. 3. Right, up, left. That's 4. Then we're gonna do the turtle neck stretch. So if we're standing up straight, we're gonna go 1 and back, 2 and back, 3 and back, 4 and back. Okay, that one felt funny, but it's okay. And then for our last exercise, so we're going to put the head down and roll 4 times to the right, head down, roll 4 times to the left. You ready? So we're going to straighten the spine, drop the neck, roll 1, roll 2, roll 3, and roll 4. Now we're just going to do this to the opposite side. So we got 1, 2, roll 2, roll 3, and roll 4. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. Just doing those 4 or 5 exercises once has already decreased the amount of popping and crackling and Rice Krispie bubbling that I have heard in my neck. So we'll see how we feel after a full week of this. Now, next, you're probably like, what is that? This is only the beginning. So these, whenever we start doing these regularly, like starting tomorrow, that's gonna be like 2 minutes. Right now, we're just describing everything so that you know what is going on. So for the eye exercises, remain seating in the same position. Open your eyes, then check your posture. Make sure your spine is erect, your hands are on your knees, your body's relaxed, your head straight. This is how you should remain for the entire eye exercises. The whole body must be motionless. Okay. So hands on the knees aren't going to be that easy right now, but we'll go for it. Now raise your eyes and find a small point that you can see clearly without straining, without frowning, without becoming tense, and of course without moving your head. While doing this exercise, look at this point each time you raise your eyes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the point at which I am looking at. So I have here all of this stuff in front of me. We're going to look up, going to focus on that sweetgrass flower right there. That's going to be our focus. So we have our focal point. That sweetgrass flower is going to be our focal point. All right, while doing the exercise, you will look at that point each time you raise your eyes. Next, lower your eyes to find a small point on the floor, which you can see clearly when glancing down. Look at it each time you lower your eyes. Okay, so I have this little squish ball. We're gonna put it right here in front of me. See, it's going right here. And that's gonna be my focal point on the ground. So I have the squish ball here, I have the flower up there, we have our focal points. So the technique, raise your eyes to look at your high point, then lower your eyes to look at your low point. Repeat 4 times. Then you're gonna close your eyes and rest a moment. So let's start because it says to rest a moment, so we're going to straighten the spine, relax the head, hands on knees, and nice and comfortable. So we're gonna look up and then look down. Look up and then look down. Up and then look down. Last one, up and then look down. And then you're gonna close your eyes and just rest them for a second. So, sorry, my ADHD is getting a little loo. I have that song Apatow stuck in my head, APT. So if you see me jamming, that is literally what is going through my head. And sometimes I mix that with Pink Pony Club because for some reason they just work to me. So it's like, Pink Pony Club, I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Pink Pony Club. Say, that is what goes through my head on a nearly regular basis. Okay, so we did our 4 exercises and now we've rested our eyes. And you also got a little karaoke. Next, using the same points to your right. Okay, now do the same using points to your right and to your left at eye level. Keep your raised fingers or 2 pencils on each side as guides and adjust them so that you can see them clearly when moving the eyes to the right and to the left, but without straining. Keeping your fingers at eye level and moving only the eyes, look to the right at your chosen point, then to the left. Repeat 4 times. Blink several times, then close your eyes and rest. So am I supposed to use my fingers as eye level? So let's try this. Okay. We're going right, left, right, left. That's 2, 3, 4, and then blink, and then rest. Okay, so we've done 2 exercises. Number 3, choose a point you can see from the right corner of your eyes when you raise them, and another that you can see from the left corner of your eyes when you lower them, half closing the lids. Remember to retain your posture. Look at the chosen point in right corner up, then the one in left corner down. Repeat 4 times, blink, and close your eyes. All right, so if we're like this, what can I see out of my right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, we're gonna blink, and then we're gonna close our eyes. This is interesting. It's actually making me tired. Like my eyes feel like they're getting a workout and I want to go take a nap. All right. The next exercise should not be done until 3 or 4 days after you've begun the course. Okay, well now we're gonna skip that one, but I'm going to explain it. So that way when I incorporate this into our exercises, you'll understand what the heck's going on. It consists of slowly rolling the eyes, First clockwise, then counterclockwise, as follows. I think it's kind of funny that we have to explain this, but let's do it. Lower your eyes and look at the floor. Slowly move the eyes to the left, higher and higher until you see the ceiling. Now continually circling to the right, lower and lower, down until you see the floor again. So in case you didn't know, if we're up straight, we're looking down with your eyes only. Keep your chin up, down, up, over, and around. And then you would go up, over, down, and around. Okay, now do it slowly, making a full vision circle. Blink and close your eyes, then repeat the same action counterclockwise. I think we're only supposed to do that once then. Next comes a changing vision exercise. While doing it, you alternately shift your vision from close to distant points several times. You can take a pencil or your finger and hold it under the tip of your nose, so like this, and then start moving it away without raising it until you have a fixed point at the closest possible distance where you can see it clearly without blurring. Okay, so it's right about there. Then raise your eyes a little, look straight into the distance, and find a small point which you can see clearly. So this is our close, far, close, far, close, far, close, far. Look at the closer point, repeat several times, blink, close your eyes, squeeze them tight. That's the first time it says squeeze them tight, so squeeze them tight. And now for the palming, which is the most important for preserving the eyesight. Palming also has beneficial relaxing effects on your nervous system. Remain seated, draw up your knees, keeping your feet on the floor and slightly apart. Okay, so we got knees. Gosh, this is so difficult for me. All right. Briskly rub your palms to charge them with electricity and place the cupped palms over your closed eyes. The fingers of the right hand should be crossed over the fingers of the left hand. The elbows should rest on your raised knees, and the neck should be kept straight. Do not bend your head. Do deep breathing while palming your eyes. If you are going to do this for longer than a few minutes, better sit down at a table, place some pillows or books in front of you to support your elbows so that you'll be able to keep the neck straight, and palm the eyes in this position. All right, so essentially what we're looking at here is going to charge them, and then you're going to put them over your eyes. And I know it says that I'm supposed to have my hands on my knees, but that ain't gonna work. So we're going to adapt to this. Remember to do deep breathing. Okay. Okay, so after that, we are going to start doing some yoga postures. First, you're going to start with the bracing rocking exercise. This exercise overcomes drowsiness and stiffness that one so often feels on waking in the morning. As you do the rocking exercise, you will also experience an agreeable, invigorating sensation due to the fact that your vertebrae are being given a good massage. This exercise will limber up your spine and keep it flexible and in youthful condition. So, she actually includes photos. So what you're going to do is you're going to start in make sure you have enough space for this, okay? I'm just forewarning you, have enough space. We're going to adjust a little bit, and you're going to put your hands behind your knees. Now, if for some reason you have trouble putting your legs together or holding onto your knees, you can always take a strap and grab them. Okay, make sure you keep the strap tight, and you're going to roll back and roll up, roll back and roll up. See, just like that. Now, let's see how many times she suggests to do this. Do the exercise 4 to 6 times, then lie down to relax until your breath returns to normal again. Finally, take a few deep breaths while still lying on the floor. So we did do 4, which is funny. Now, on the second or third day, you can try to combine rocking with deep breathing. You inhale while you go backward and exhale while returning forward. Smart. Next, we're going to do a raised leg posture. Now, if we were talking in Sanskrit, that glare is driving me crazy, so I apologize. If you're talking in Sanskrit, so let's say you're in a yoga class and you hear them saying the Sanskrit names for some of these postures. This would be Udita, Udhita, Padasana. Man, that was tough to say. This is not difficult to grasp, but it may take a little time before you are able to execute it properly. Now, again, we have a photo. And the thing I love about this photo is this was taken by Jimber. So a lot of her photos are of her doing these poses, or like she has some with her mom, like her mom. So you're gonna lie down on your back with your hands along your side. Inhale a deep breath while raising the right leg until it is at a right angle to your body. Stay in this position for a while without bending the knee, keeping the other leg flat on the floor. Exhale while slowly lowering the leg again. And then you're gonna repeat. You should hold this position for at least 3 seconds, gradually increasing it to 12 seconds. At the start, do the exercise only once or twice. After a few days, you can try raising and lowering both legs together 4 or 5 times without stopping. So, let's get to it. Now, normally, if you're doing certain types of leg lifts, you would want to use a strap. Because the point of this one is to work on our core muscles, which, let's face it, we're not going to do that. We are going to do this as it is intended. No straps, not holding our leg, holding for up to 3 seconds or as long as we can while focusing on breathing. So remember, inhale, leg up, exhale, leg down. Let's do it. Straighten out the leg, arms out. We're going to inhale, leg up. Keep your leg straight, keep your leg on the ground straight as well, and then exhale slowly. And other side, up. This one's a lot harder. Down. Okay. So I did notice that my left leg was weaker. That's not a bad thing. It's just something to take note of. And as you start to become more proficient and start practicing more, if you need to take different avenues and different adjustments to make things easier, or to make sure that you're getting the most benefit, then you can. Next, we're doing the head to knee posture. Janu Shirashasana. Man, I'm having trouble with these today. I actually have been practicing my Sanskrit words for yoga techniques, so this is really embarrassing. All right, so Janu means knee, Shirish means head, and asana is our posture. So you're gonna sit up straight with both legs straight out, then bend the left knee and place the sole of the left foot against the right thigh, as high as possible. Inhale deeply, slightly raise the upper part of the body to draw in the stomach, then exhale slowly, bending forward. So you're going to get a hold of the right foot with both hands, touch your forehead to your right knee, and then release. You should remain in the posture for 3 seconds, gradually increasing the time to 10 seconds. Repeat once or twice, and then reverse legs. So, do we have pictures? Yes, so we do have pictures. Okay, so now this is one of the ones that if you need to use an accommodation like a belt, you can, but we're gonna go ahead and try it without. So we're gonna start. We're gonna put our right leg forward, our left leg is going to come as high up as we can. Keep your knee straight as much as possible. And we're going to breathe in and bend down. Breathe in and release. So we're gonna try that again. Breathe in, bend down, breathe in, and release. Now, I just did something that's very important to mention. When I was bending over, my toes were bending inwards, which was giving me a bit of a curved ankle. Try to keep your feet straight as well. Pointed if you need to, but you want to keep everything in alignment. So don't do what I did. So we're going to left leg out, right leg in as far as you can. Keep those ankles straight. I'm gonna breathe in and release. And release. All right, one more, breathe in and release. Breathe in and release. And that time, because I was mindful, my ankles stayed straight. So I hope that helped for you as well. All right, now as a preliminary exercise, place your left sole against your right thigh. Then begin to make a bouncing up and down movement with your left knee, as though it were made of rubber. The moment you push the knee down to the floor, up it bounces again. Do this bouncing in 5 successive movements so that the leg resembles the flying of a winged bat. This will stretch and limber up the rigid ligaments and muscles and help you gradually to assume lotus pose. First the left knee, then reverse legs and bounce the right knee. Okay, a little confused. Oh, okay, so we need to sit up in the same head to knee pose to do the next exercise. So if we have the right leg stretched out, we have the left leg here. What you want to do, let me move a little bit forward so you can see, is you want to bounce this. But you want to make sure that the rest of you is pretty still. So just bounce your left knee. Ooh, got a nice little pop there. And when you're ready, you're going to stretch out the left leg, straight bend the right, and you're going to do the same thing. See, this one's nice and simple. Just want to do that for a few times. Good. Now, the goal of that exercise is to be able to get into lotus, which again, is not something that's easy for me to do. But if you want to see what lotus looks like, that is lotus. All right, so those are pictures of lotus. And then the next that we're going to do is cobra. Now, cobra or Bhujangasana is actually a very popular pose. So it's easy to assume, it's easy to do. And I don't really need the book for this one. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. Now we are going to adjust our camera. We're gonna bring you over here because you're gonna wanna be able to see the entire position. So typically, however you're gonna get there, you're going to straighten your legs out behind you, drop your hips to the mat, and straighten your arms. Make sure that you keep your ankles and your feet straight, your legs straight, and push up. Cobra. This is actually really great if your back is tight or if your lower like hip back area is tight. This is a great stretch. And then a lot of people will come down, breathe, relax all their muscles, wiggle out your hips a little bit, and then do it again. Now you'll probably notice that your pelvis and your stomach come off the ground a little bit. That is natural. Perfect. Alrighty, let's see what else we have left. I hope you're enjoying these exercises so far. All right, how many more do we have? Oh, we have one left. Okay, so this is our squatting pose, or Utkatasana. It requires no particular skill or preparation. It is only when the knees have become too stiff that one will meet any difficulties while doing it. So, there's multiple ways you can do this. Typically, you're going to stand with your feet about a foot apart. Take a deep breath while rising on your tiptoes. Then, exhale and start lowering your body so that you're sitting on your heels. Then you're going to slowly stand. All right, that is one position. Another position is actually doing a full body squat. So you would do the same thing except for being on your tiptoes. You're gonna have your feet flat. Today I'm going to be doing tiptoes just because that's where I am at physically right now. So, how long does she want us to hold them? Does not say. It says repeat any of the variations 3 to 4 times, or do each one once, then lie down and have a few breaths. Okay, so she doesn't actually have how long we should be holding them, so we're gonna go ahead and do our rest. So if we're gonna stand here. All right, so we're going to hip distance apart, up on the tiptoes, I can balance, and then all the way down. And then exhale up. Inhale, I got this. Inhale and drop. And then exhale and up. We're gonna do this one more time. Inhale and drop. Ooh. Got this? And exhale up. Now, I'm going to be transparent. If you are somebody who has, okay, so let's be transparent here. If you are someone who has POTS, like I do, or any kind of heart condition, do those slowly, and don't be afraid to adapt if you need to. And when I mean adapt, I mean reach for the floor or have a chair in front of you that you can hold on to. Because if you have POTS, you know that that kind of up and down movement very quickly can actually affect you pretty deeply. So now that our first lesson for today is over, we're going to relax. And we are going to go into Shavasana, which is everyone's favorite position. This is also called corpse pose. So, in order to do corpse pose, going to straighten your legs out, lay down, close your eyes, and breathe. Let your legs fall naturally. And this is it. This is how most, if not all, yoga sequences end in Shavasana. Personally, I don't like to end my sequences in Shavasana. I like to end with a specific breathing exercise or something, some kind of, I don't know, way to get back to normal. But we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. Now, at the end of your exercise, say this aloud. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to readjust us so that we can say this together. I hope you're excited. All right, so from the unreal to the real, from the darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So normally how you would do that is you would bring yourself into the Anjali Mudra. You would gently close your eyes and you're going to chant this essentially. So, from the unreal to the real, from the darkness to the light, from death to immortality. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And that's how you do it. Now, she has a little explanation here. So Om is the sacred sound of the Hindus, and Shanti means peace in Sanskrit. She does say that you may also use any other prayer or use your own wording. This is up to you. But she suggests that at least once a day, you remind yourself that you are of divine origin and that you are on this earth to bring love, peace, and goodness to all living creatures. Now, this was our first day of the first week of the Yoga for Americans. I hope you enjoyed this. Join me tomorrow as we actually do these exercises in regular time. We're going to go through the whole week and then we'll start on week 2. I hope you enjoyed this and we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can get the notifications that these videos are up. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day, you radiant souls, and we'll see you tomorrow for more Yoga for Americans.